Well, hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily Friday. We made it. We made it through another fucking week of this fucking shitty economy, shitty president, shitty news, shitty everything. And now that the Amber Heard trial is over, it kind of sucks because I have to listen to the news of all the bullshit that's happening out there to not, be totally bored throughout the day while I'm sending flex tunes to people that don't know how to tune. Why doesn't the HP tuners, you guys sell the stuff? Why don't you? Why did you sell me this stuff if you can't do a crank relearn? Man, get the all day, every day. So we'll talk about the race. We'll talk about just because we saw the product doesn't mean we have any, let's just say, control. Okay, that's another thing that people seem to not understand. Coyote swap mistakes. A lot of people are making very common coyote swap mistakes. And also people cheering against me. The race against Jake put a blue check mark on everything I say. Everything I say about stick shift racing, everything I say about a proper driving technique, everything I say that a stick can hang with a 10R80, everything that I say that a stick can shift just as fast as an auto if you know how to drive the thing. And people, I think, were waiting to see. We proved it to Alex. There's no way he can beat a 10R80 turbo whatever. Half of you out there probably thought I was going to get gapped. Like bad. Oh my God, Alex. 11 PSI, 750 horse, 10R80. He's going to fuck you up. And I thought to myself, no. I think it'll be an even race, just like Second Shift Racing said, until Aero comes into play at about 120. And that's when I started to pull away. Right around the time where the wind pretty much took care of the brick situation that an F-150 is designed with, basically the same characteristics as a brick, and the Mustang slipped through the wind no problem. And at less power, of course, I way less, but it's a 10R80. 10R80 is the supposed, the determining factor of what's gonna determine who's gonna win a race or not, especially on a roll. So it was interesting to see that a stick shift Mustang driven by someone that knows how to drive. I'm sorry, I'm going to toot my horn every fucking time when it comes to driving. I can absolutely outdrive 90% of the stick drivers out there that say they're driver mods and shit. No aids, no nothing, just aids as in driver aids. Just me and the clutch and the fucking pedal and just getting it done. And I'm going to absolutely toot my horn about that shit because I think there's a lot to be said about someone that has a lot of experience, backs up what he talks about, and, you guys see the results, and it totally messes with your head because you're out there on Instagram, Facebook, and all this, and TikTok, and you're going, 10R80 King Daddy, 10R80 King Daddy, 10R80 King Daddy, and this dumbass, boomer, supposed old dumbass that doesn't know shit, makes a manual sound like an auto and is right there next to a 10R80 truck turbo, getting it done with a little Vortec V3 and doing my thing. We'll say hi to the people, talk about the race, talk about people cheering against me, and they were sorely, or very highly disappointed that I actually won that race just like I thought I would. I told Jake, I think if we go and we're even on the hit, then I'm going to edge you out by about a car. And that's exactly what happened. So we'll say thank you and hi to the sponsors here, Oh My God Cookies, The Parts Farm, and Calimer Transmissions, the people that make the show possible. 2 Auto Solutions, Oh My God Cookies. By the way, Oh My God Cookies have a new line of a new product, coffee. That's right, they got coffee, and I got the Colombian blend, son. And this shit is great. I'm sure it's a private label situation, but they used a really, really good supplier, and it fucking badass. It doesn't have any aftertaste. I highly recommend the Colombian. I haven't tried the French roast. I haven't tried anything else. I got the medium and the grounds, not the beans. So, oh my God, cookies. Good job on the selection of coffee. I love coffee and cookies, so can't really go wrong there. We'll say hi to the people here, and we'll get talking to them shit. Oh, fuck. We got Douche Did It is in the house. We got Yonce50, Fresh Pastelazo, and Fresh Pasteles in the house. Douche Did It again. Diego Flores, TBE King. Says, good afternoon, good evening, y'all. Says Elijah's and Wesley Stewart, AS Vega, Godfather, I'm Hung So Low, Harley Four-Door, HTFU Grad. Anyone else notice the show volume is not as loud? Asshole, turn your volume up. Everyone's saying that, and I listen back to it. It sounds exactly the same. Upgrade your shit-ass phone. What's up, guys? Watching from work, says Ulysses Alacron, Naldo, Rich, EPA, and Angel, Puerto Rico, Victor Garza, NSA New Edge, TJ Sikorsky, Blake Bailey, Nat Jew, Euphorix, D-Rock Fox again, Jeremiah Camp, who I was going to try to review his car this weekend, but we have a tropical storm coming, so can't do much until that's over. It might be Sunday. We'll see what happens. Nixon Tarpia. Now, apparently, I have been put in the crosshairs by winning the race against Jake. Guys, understand this? Jake kept it at 11 PSI. If Jake wants to absolutely fuck me up, all he has to do is turn the knob a couple times to 13, 14, 15 PSI, and he's got me covered. But we thought, let's stay at the same power level. Let's see what a 40, whatever, 100-pound truck at 770 wheel can do with a 720 wheel manual car that weighs about 6 or 7 or actually 800 pounds less. And just like we thought was going to happen, the fact that it stayed right there, in my opinion, was impressive for that 10R80 truck. Gustavo, oh, by the way, and they put me in the crosshairs because now they want to race me. Guys, you'll get your race, but not until I do some new upgrades to the Mustang. Oh, shit. Wait till you see what's the plan with the white car. Gustavo Sandoval, Evan Ross, Second Shift Racing. As predicted, the Arrow of the Mustang starts coming to play. Very nice race. And we'll get all the way to the bottom here. We got, yo, Alex, great race. To Mendoza King, Driven Lifestyle. Hey, Alex, thanks for that race. The race was fire. JD Swag, sounds good. Nah, people are like, it sounds good. It's Metro PCS. Sound is fine. Sounds good. Sounds good. Volume is good now. Volume is good now. I didn't change anything. Upgrade your phone. Metro PCS, having ass motherfuckers. Okay, let's talk about the race. So I met Jake for dinner. Every Thursday or so, me and Jake have like little mandates. Because we're good friends and we both live busy lives and we like to catch up, see what's going on. So we end up meeting and we had fucking badass place over by Palm Beach Lakes. Had it there, and then it's raining. It's wet everywhere. So we decided let's go to Mexico, and it was wet in Mexico. It was wet all over Mexico, Guadalajara, Tijuana, Mexico City. We went everywhere, and we couldn't find any place in Mexico that was actually dry. Luckily, there was a spot just past Guadalajara called Indian Town, Mexico. That Indian Town, Mexico is pretty legit, and we found a dry area in Indian Town, Mexico. So we thought, you know what? Let's try it here. And I didn't come ready. I didn't come with a DSLR. I didn't come with all the equipment on the planet. I just had the GoPro in the car. I used the N-Gage SD card. That's right. I took the N-Gage SD card. I didn't even bother to bring the proper SD card, which is like 100 or 256 gig or something like that. I didn't have a sock on the camera. I was like, let me just let's see if we can get a race off. And guess what? They were badass races. Not only were they badass races, Mexico was dry. The air was crisp, a little muggy because it rained, but crisp. You know how after a cold front goes through, a weather system goes through, it becomes cool again. We got that feeling. And Jake was like, hey man, I'll pace Jake. I think Jake was in second or third gear, 60 mile an hour. And the moment I heard his turbo spool up, bam, I'm on it. And I was in second gear, 60 miles an hour, 5,800 RPM. That's exactly the gear ratio. The car has 373s, a 305, 35, 20 in the back. Nitto R 555 R2s. We both have the same tire. Jake was in four-wheel drive. Then I think he clicked it over to two-wheel after we were rolling. And we were able to do 60 to 1. I think the first race was 60 to 150. The second race was 60 to 145. Because I was just pulling on him. I was in fourth gear. And I think I can go 160 plus in fourth gear in that car because I wasn't anywhere near 7,000 RPMs by the time the races were done. But first race, got him by about a car. Second race, we were even a lot longer because I gave him the hit. I said I gave him the hit, and We were able to be even. I mean, door to door. I couldn't even peek over. You understand? You know when you're racing and you see how far you are from each other? Nope. It was me staring down the tack and doing the 2-3 at 8,000 RPMs, the 3-4 at 8,000 RPMs. Then I peeked over, saw he was right there. I mean, right there. So he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. I'm sure he's hearing my supercharger, then my exhaust. He's seeing everything happen. And he's just like, every time I shifted, Alex, you went forward a little bit. Telling me that the 10R80, although shifts very quickly, probably is limiting him somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his truck and see if we can improve the shifting at watt, maybe turn off some torque reduction and let it bang into gears firmer. But I still don't think he would have lurched ahead because you could tell that the truck was out of steam. Now, again, 2 more PSI, he's got me covered. Not a problem. We all know that truck has the potential because it made 1,000. It made 1,000 on 20 PSI. So we all know, but we wanted to keep it at similar power levels. And I think those races are so much fun. It brought me right back. We were talking about it yesterday. We were talking about what kept you away from racing. Like why did you stop racing? And yesterday put a blue check mark on the fact that I don't care about track stuff anymore. I'd rather race Jake, Nick Santarpia, Jeremiah Camp, people that I know and I like, okay, friends, and have fun that way, better than going to a 2-hour away track and get 1 8-second run in and then have beef and drama with a bunch of shitheads you don't like. I'd rather catch a race on the street, and I was so happy. The car drove back fine. The bent caliper transmission was fucking phenomenal. Every single time I beat on that transmission, it shifts better. And that is a regular McLeod RXT clutch, nothing fancy with the whole situation. And Jake was like, dude, badass races. Shook hands, say have a good night. That was perfect. No setup, no meetup, just like, hey man, let's drive to the spot. Let's see what's going on over there. And we got it done. And that is the absolute best way. The absolute best way to, in my opinion, enjoy your street car. You know, mess around like that on the street is a bunch of fun. The track stuff, I mean, it's too much of a setup. Blah. If you happen to catch a race on the street, that to me is way more fun. And we talked about that yesterday. And I thought that was a perfect way of showcasing. And I edited it. I edited the video really quickly. I didn't try to go too crazy. The video quality wasn't awesome. I went ahead and ordered another GoPro. I went ahead and ordered a couple of socks, basically cases, so that the wind is cut down to a minimum. In case I do more of those races, I can bring you clearer, better sounding video. So it made me invest in the show. So I spent like $400 recently on Amazon, 2 socks, another GoPro. I already have all the mounts, so I should be able to bring you more races from both angles. And then, you know, if Nick wants to race once I finish the upgrades in the white car, and Jeremiah wants to race, because both those guys can drive. Both those guys can get after it. But this is going to be, look, just like I called it with Jake, I'm going to call it with Nick and Jeremiah. It's going to be the driving. I love you. It's going to be the driving that's going to be the difference. Your cars are faster. Your cars make 800 plus, and your cars are lighter. It's going to be the driving. If we're both making the same power, it's all 100% going to be the driving. So polish up on them skills, boys. Because Papi Alex got that shit down. Under pressure, I performed the best. Now, we'll talk about the people cheering against me real quick. In the videos, you can tell there's a lot of people that only watch just to see me fail. And they hate it when I don't. And what they do is they lash out as to things that are kind of beyond my control. You know, they're like, okay, sound quality. Sorry. Yes, I guess that's under my control, but I wasn't exactly ready for a race. So people are out there commenting on the video, talking shit, saying I suck, blah, blah. I won a race against an E85 turbo truck with a 10R80. And every time I shifted, I went ahead. So that tells you a lot about, let's just say, the setup, the skill, the parts that I chose, and the people that were responsible for getting the car to where it is. So it is funny that there's a big contingent out there that watch you just for the fact that they want to see you fail. So it is interesting how all that's going down. We'll talk to the people here and go from there. Let me see. I want to get all the paid questions, viewer activity. We got someone said happy Friday from St. Augustine 313 Mike, and he became a member. And then he said hurricane supplies. He gave me 19 doll hairs for hurricane supplies. I appreciate the fact that he got me some hurricane supplies. Jeremiah Rivera says sounds fine. Metro PCS. Jake got smoked. No, look. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to make fun of Jake. Jake purposely did not turn it up, okay? He can absolutely destroy my car, especially from a dig. From a dig, I have zero shot against Jake. He'll beat me by a 747. But to make it fair, he said, roll, I'll keep it at 11 PSI. You're probably making 11, 12 PSI based on the power you're making because, you know, your Vortec is wonky right now. Who knows what it'll make, you know, because the air load is kind of on the low side. For the pulley side, it should be 1.9 and it's like 1.75 or something like that. So it's like about 12 PSI. Manual versus auto. I don't like making fun of the fact that I beat him. He was gracious enough to race me, gracious enough to keep the power to a minimum, gracious enough to race me twice, and no drama there. That's the best thing about racing your friends. White car getting a 4 system. Nope. The hell no. Not for a while. Could not hear Alex shifting the white car. Seamless. Hello, everyone. Oh, my God. They have coffee. Turn your hearing aid on, motherfucker, said the guy who complained about the sound. Alex, I thought you were getting rid of the white car right after the race. No, the blue car. The GT 500 is for sale. That's the one I'm going to get rid of. Cricket wireless phone. Infamous. It was funny how Cletus made it sound like he didn't have to pay Steve or something to come. Okay, so I did see Steve Morris, thank God, came down to tune that car. Boy, that was so good to see. So Jake is building a turbo kit for the white car? No, he is not. Late night with the foe and the gang. That's what our Mustang crew does. How do you get to Mexico so quick? We just happen to have a very good route. Any federales? No federales. That's the best thing about Indiantown, Mexico. How much boost was the truck running? 11 PSI. Alex won. Yeah, everyone gets cookies now from Alex. It's nice that you can race your friends. When you win, you can help them improve, vice versa. Right. I said, hey, Jake, because I asked him how'd the truck run. He goes, it ran really good. It ran strong. But I noticed that every time I shift, you went ahead. And I said, Jake, I'm in second gear. And by the time I'm in third, it's hauling the mail. That thing is fucking getting it. It is right at the perfect RPM and the gear ratio. And it just trucks. And you can tell that you could see one shift happen maybe on my car. And then after that, you couldn't really tell when I was shifting. And I said, let me do this because he's going to be going away for a little bit. I said, give me the keys to the truck. I'll do some 60 to 130 as it sits and see if I can improve on that on the exact same boost level. And we'll see how much I can gain just by trans shifting. He said, awesome. So I'm going to go and improve his truck and maybe race against his truck. So I'm probably betting against myself, but I'm also going to improve my car. And that's the game we play. That's the game that I love to play with friends of mine where we say, you improve your truck, I improve my car, we go out there and test. And we do it over and over and over. And there's no beef, no drama, no Facebook bullshit, no money, no bullshit. Just friends racing for the fucking fun of it. And that's the best way. Hell yeah, the Stage 3 Calamar with the RXT is the killer combo. We have a guy who paid, and I want to get to his, here we go. We got Hurricane Supplies, got it. Inside GoPro mount next time would be mint, but damn bitch, a white car moved great races. I've almost forgotten what it's like to drive my car again. It's been months. How fast is Jeremiah Camp's car now? Jeremiah Camp probably makes 825 to 850 on his S197. It's a Paxton. 20% or 15% overdrive with a 3.8 or 3.6 upper. It's got cams. It thing gets it. And it's got a Stage 3 Calamar trans. It's a badass ride. So I don't think I got anything for Nick. I don't think I got anything for Jeremiah because Nick has a Gen 3. Now he has a Gen 3 TVS. He's got a Gen 3 bottom end. His car is going to go, it's going to make 800, 850. No problem. My car is making 720. So I'm going to go upgrade my car, do other changes, and we'll see how I fare with my friends. I want to race all these guys and let them improve it, and we can race each other nonstop instead of going to the Palm Beach callouts or this and bullshit. We can just fuck with each other. And it's all Lund-tuned cars. There is no drama, no bullshit, no shop drama. It's just a bunch of friends racing, man. That's the baddest shit. Indian Town, Mexico has more prep than PBIR anyway. Runs with friends are always the best. No beef, little joking around, no drama. See, you fail because they want to see you're not immortal. You see the Ford vid about making the keeping the Mustang manual? Yeah, I don't know why people thought the manual was going to go away. I don't understand what the deal is. Alex, how old are you when you joined the line? Do you guys see that video where the guy was like, hey, were you in a gang? And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? I didn't know who Cletus was before this show. Did Jake say I almost had you? No, he said, I don't think I took off on 3. I said, okay, let's do this. I'll rerun it because we were going to do 2 out of 3. No problem. If I lost that race, we're going to run it again. And if he beat me again, there's no reason to race him a third time. But I beat him the first race. And then the second race, I said, don't even honk. The first race he honked, we took off. The second race, I said, I'll leave when I see your truck, pull forward. So he set the pace. He went like this, got me up, and it was like second gear, 6,100 RPMs. I was slightly over 60. He was right where he needed to be. I let him dictate the pace. And he looked at me, gave me the nod. I looked at him, gave him the nod, and I just stared at his truck. All I did was stare at his truck the whole time. The moment the truck, I got on it because that's how you give someone the hit. You got to react to them reacting. You don't react to the horn. And he was out a little bit, but not in front. And then all of a sudden, my car on the shift got forward. And then by the time I was in the 4th gear, you could tell it did that slow, gradual, and I think it's aero at that point, not power, because the truck is making more power. It's 4,600 pounds or something. You know what I mean? So the thing is making more power than I am. It's just the aero got in the way, in my opinion. I can shift you, bicho. Just let me borrow your skills. I love to race the white car. Catch it at a light one day and see what I have for it. Then go about my way. Best race there is. Do people not realize more gear shifting is distance loss? So I'm going to be honest with you, second shift racing. I literally think people don't understand how racing works. Why does a power glide have 2 gears? And it's usually the better transmission. But then they'll say, but what about Pro Mods? They have like 30 gears. Guys, you're at another level. you're at a completely different level of car when you're fucking with Pro Mod that shifts like 13 times what it sounds like, but it's really like 4 or 5 in the 8th. So it is a completely different situation. Power glides generally, they have a planetary torque multiplication. If you have the right converter, it's real difficult at a certain power level to beat a power glide. Turbo 400s have 3 speeds. So why isn't there a Turbo 400 equivalent that has a 6-speed? Because more time shifting is loss. You'd rather shift less. Theoretically, all right, let's talk theory. Theoretically, if you had an engine that had made enough torque, and one old school guy said this to me and it always stuck with me. He said to me, imagine if you can have an engine as the size of this room, and in one revolution of that engine, if you gear everything properly, it could get down the track. Less interruption. You stay within your power band because it's a torque monster, and you don't have to shift it. Just one long continuous gear. If you gear a car properly and you stay within the proper torque curve and you size the converter properly, you size the engine, the boost control, everything is proper, the less shifts you make, the better. So when people think 10R80 and they want it to shift 1,800 times, if you make proper torque and you size let's say you have a manual and you're a math guy and you look at your gear ratio, you look at your RPM drop, you see where your peak torque is, and you configure your car, wheel size, diff, blah, 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 blah. A manual can absolutely be configured to be pretty damn efficient, almost as much as something that's like a 10R80 that shifts a bunch of times. Now, tuners out there will say there's no way any manual can shift as quick as an auto. Sorry, guys, I proved that shit wrong. So the guy that talks all this shit, the YOLO douchebag, the dumbass, the dumb Puerto Rican that was, this guy proved that wrong. Basically, on video, you guys can hear how fast the shifts are, and you see that on a race, I was actually either staying or going ahead every time that truck shifted. And it's basically based on the configuration of the vehicle. A lot of guys just bolt on parts and don't do any scientific, or there's no methodology to their build. They just say, let me just slap parts on here, slap parts on there, and go from there, which leads me to Coyote swap mistakes. Coyote swap guys make Coyote swap guys make the biggest mistakes in the world when the first thing they do on a 6R80 swap car is put 373 gears in the car. You know, I know that 373 gears in any 6R80 car, especially boosted, is probably a big no-no. But Alex, didn't you have 373s in your red car? Yes. Well, what size tire and converter did I have on the car? What size tire and converter, and where was I shifting it? 8,100 RPMs, 28-inch tall tire, 373s. Coyote swap guys build a truck like a Coyote swap Bronco with a Whipple. Listen to this, with a Whipple, put 373s in it, and then complain that the car is too aggressive and can the tuner tame it down. I go, excuse me, sir. You installed 456s. Yeah, you put a 40-inch fucking tire, 456s in a 6R80 or 10R80 Coyote swapped situation. Did you not even bother to look at the gear ratios on the trans? Did you not look and do the math and then go, wait a minute, this thing makes 600 foot-pounds of torque, 2,800 pounds, 40-inch tire, 456 gears, and first gear ratio is a 4.7 in a 10R80, 4.1 in a 6R80. How the hell do you think that's going to drive around? That's the biggest mistake Coyote swap guys make. The setup. Do the math with the gear ratio. 9 times out of 10, a numerically low gear ratio is what you want, especially on a 10R80 or 6R80 swap situation or car. 10R80 has a shitload of fucking gears, guys. There's 10, and you guys are you're building Coyote swap Broncos with Whipples on them, and first gear is whoop, and you snap your neck and the thing does a fucking backflip, and you wonder why it did a backflip, and then you complain to us like if it's our problem to fix that. Other guys put 410s in their diff. Listen to this one. 410s in their diff. Let's say you have a model like a 30-something Roadster, like a 30-something T-bucket, 1,800-pound piece of junk. And you guys put 410s or 430s in the back because you think that's the gear you need. Then you have a Whipple. It's idling at 900 RPM, and you have mechanical brakes. And you are jamming that brake down at the light so it doesn't go forward, and you go, oh, my foot's tired. Tuner, can you lower the idle? Oh, and by the way, you put a stock converter in the dumb thing. Stock converter, 410s or 430s, 900 idle, Whipple, 1,800 pounds, mechanical brakes. Hey, the tuner needs to lower my idle because I can't hold this T-bucket piece of shit at the light. I'm slamming the fucking thing all the way down, and it just keeps lurching forward because of the gear ratio, the converter tightness, the power adder, and the RP and the idle. It has to be 875 or so. Oh, no, but you built it wrong. You built it wrong. That's what happened. You built it like shit. If you have a very lightweight vehicle, it's a Model T, a Fox body, and you have a 6R80 or a 10R80, 273s or 315 gears, tops. Especially if it's boosted. But Alex, didn't you have 373s in the Fairmont? It had a 4R200, which ran 8.7s, shifting twice. But what the fuck do I know? Alex, what do you think the white car will run in a quarter? Okay, so based on what Jake has run, and if the car cuts a good 60, let's say the axles don't break and the drive shaft doesn't break, it should be a 1060, 1070 car. Based on everything I know, If it cuts a 1/660 foot, it should be a 1060, 1070 car based on everything. I have gone 1130, 1120 with like a 2060 foot with a draggy. So if I cut 4/10 off the top of the front half, I think I can get it down to a 1070 or so at the other end. They eyeballed it, so it has to work. Is there really 23 likes and 317 people? No, there's 190 likes and 308 people. Yes, but Koenigsegg is shifting the power band to match the gearing. Are 2022 Mustang GTs tunable yet? Yes, they are tunable. Takeover mod. For a biker with the little one. Did I miss anything? Alex, did you calculate what you're talking? Evening, folks. Look, a lot of people, another fact people don't configure is manuals tend to trap faster than autos due to less parasitic loss. That's the other thing, guys. The torque multiplication will help you out of the hole. Maybe on the first 2 gears. But once you are rolling, in my opinion, I've seen manual cars generally have the advantage if the shifting is on point. That's the biggest thing. And if it's configured properly and the RPM drop isn't severe, like the 266 T56 has a tighter gear ratio than the 297. So Ben Calamer made the D4 MT82 have a similar gear ratio to a 266 T56 or TR6060 than a 297 first. 297 first has a bigger gear split between the gears than the 266 first gear, 6060 or T56. And you can hear it. You can hear the tighter ratio, especially on the 2-3 shift. The 2-3 shift, you don't hear that much of an RPM drop. And when you see the race against Jake, that's when the pull stops. Like you can see, we go, what? And he lurches forward. Look at the first race again. He lurches forward. You see the back of his bumper go, oop, and then stop. The moment you stop someone's pull, you got him. Listen, the moment you stop someone's pull, you got him. Because you know what it takes to stop someone's pull? If they're like, what? And then you stop it, that means you have gained that. That means you have gained, meaning you are either at a better power, at a better torque curve or power band than he is. And if you hit that next shift just right, you're going to get him. And sure enough, on the 3-4, I let it eat at 8,000. 2-3, 8,000. 3-4, 8,000. Literally, when the needle went and it touched 78, 7,900, pow, grab the next one. The log said 81 or 8,005 or something like that. And I was able to keep it consistent on both runs. And I think typically a manual car will roll race better than an automatic car. Like, what did 10R80 NA owners think when they saw that video? What do you think NA 10R80 owners thought when they saw me beat? Again, I know he's limited, but we're both making similar horsepower because everyone thinks the 10R80 is this magical transmission. And what do you think they thought when I, with less horsepower, and yes, I am lighter, but I'm also a centrifugal. He has a turbo on E85. I'm on 260 GT. What did those 10R80 hero owners that swear to God they got King Daddy Trans go, damn, now my car's only a 7-1 car. It's nothing crazy. But what do you think that car will do at 900 wheel? What do you think my white car will do at 900 wheel, 60 to 130, if I configure it properly, based on what I know? Obviously, that tire is not going to be the next tire that I'm going to go with. If I make 800 wheel, I'm going to have to get a bias ply. Plain and simple. Got to get a bias ply, Hoosier, 17-inch, or a ET Street SS in a 20-inch. And to be honest with you, that's probably what I do. The R888 isn't a great tire for an S550 Mustang at that power level, okay? It's manual S550 Mustang. I think an ET Street SS, a 20-inch ET Street SS, will put in that little salt in the wound because I beat you on 20s with the ET Street SS. I woke up last week with Kevin McHale squatting over my head and his sack resting on my forehead, says Jenny. Wow, Jenny's badass. But Alex, I thought autos were faster. 10R orders, screen jump. But Alex, you can't rev your car at 8,000 RPMs without OPGs. I guess another blue check mark for you, sir. I don't have oil pump gears in that car. but I also don't have a rev limiter, a hard spark cut or fuel cut rev limiter at 8,000 RPMs either. Resonance kills oil pump gears. Now, if I'm on a two-step, if I intend to be on a two-step or some kind of spark cut situation, yeah, it's a good idea to get oil pump gears, but there you go. 60 to 130 probably for the white car at 900 horsepower. Yeah, 5.3. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think I'll go 4s, 60 to 130, unless I make 1100 or so in the white car. It wasn't on sport mode, bro. 10R80 owners come at me, bro. Why you call pump gas chocolate milk? I love it. They got wet, exactly. Poppy Trump will not whip out his Whipple anymore. Peasant gang in the house, Alejandro V. So yeah, it was interesting to see all that go down. It was fun. It was fun as shit. It was a great way to end a week. It was raining most of the time, and it was just nice to be able to race a friend. I guarantee people see that video and they're just like, fuck. Alex talked all that shit. I can't. Fuck. I thought he was gonna get just utterly gapped. And then there's people that are going to say, yeah, but what about a dig race? Of course he's going to beat me in a dig race. Are you insane? It's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive truck. He's going to fuck me up. Now, if Jake does want a dig race, that can be done. But obviously, I'm going to have to configure the car differently. But Jake doesn't care about that stuff. We're not out there doing street outlaw shit. We're not going to go out there and prep the road. I'm not going to go out there and prep the road. I'm not going to lay down any shit. No, let's just catch a roll and be happy and less shit breaks in that situation. Does pump gas taste better than chocolate milk? Can I keep mine stock on a Gen 2 if you guys lower my limiter? See, he doesn't understand. And I think he gets it at the end of the comment. Or they break bouncing off of any limiter because of the vibration. There you go, Vincent Meraldo. Think of the oil pump gears breaking because of a limiter. Because once the chains start doing this at really high RPMs and resonance, the oil pump gears are more likely to not be happy in that situation. Or if you have let's just say, for instance, a crank extender. Some supercharger kits have an auxiliary crank pulley. What does that mean? That means they bolt on another pulley on the crank to drive the supercharger. So instead of let's say this is your crank is here, right? This is the end of your crank. Well, let's say they go, boop, let me bolt this guy on at the end of the crank. And now you have effectively put leverage, just as if you have a breaker bar, right? You have a 1/2 inch wrench this long and you can't break a bolt loose. Well, you get a breaker bar that's this wide, same socket, pow, you got that bolt right off just based on leverage. So what happens when you take a crank, extend it, drive a air pump that spins at 10,000 plus RPMs, flexing, and then you happen to tap a limiter? What do you think happens to the crank when you have an extendo on the bitch? Okay? And then it goes pop up. What? So that extra leverage now makes it easier to have potentially catastrophic failure of the snout. Basically just falls right off. Do you know how many certain superchargers I've seen break the crank right off because of the design of the drive pulley? Plain and simple. 100% of the time. Exactly, brother. 529 E85, 429. I save $1. Alex had to do testing before actually dig races so that he doesn't break stuff. Some people just don't understand. OPG says bye-bye. Wait, so why is it called chocolate milk? Because it's not good quality. Everyone thinks that if you go to a pump and you get 93, that 93 is 93 is 93 is 93. And it's not. It's not. 93 at a Marathon gas station in Florida is not the same as 93 at a Shell gas station in North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, a Texaco in Michigan, or a, Esso in Washington. It is not a global 93. Different suppliers have different additives. People are still to this day telling me that Costco gas is good. People swear to God that Costco gas is good. And I just go, okay, you see right there? Your knock sensors are pulling 4 degrees out. Go to Arizona and buy some octane booster, or Oregon, and put it in on the same exact tune and log it again. They send me back a log. Hey, you see that? No more knock. It's now adding 4 degrees. You still gonna tell me your Costco gas is good? Oh, but and now that the prices are through the roof, now that gas prices are through the roof, some of you guys only own Mustangs, and that's okay. That's your only vehicle. And you have to go, I got to run 89 because I just go to work. I'm not racing. And then you look at that 93 and go, fuck, it's almost $6 in California. It's $5.50 here. Shit. Yeah, I get it. Darrell says, good evening, Alice. Can I bring my twin turbo Fox down there and make a couple of street hits with you? I mean, yeah, I'm not going to set up a race. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm not racing anybody I don't know, because people go out of their way to try to get something. I beat YOLO's car. And I knew that was going to happen once I beat a 10R80 E85 truck. Now the call-outs are coming because they want to get clout based off that my car is a 720 horsepower manual car. Nothing special. So now I'm going to set up a race with someone I don't know and trust that they're not going to go out there and clown me and do dumb shit if they happen to beat me. I'm racing my friends. The only people I'm going to race is people I know. That's it. That's how it is. California is $8 in Los Angeles. Triviate recommended Shell and Exxon. That's all I use. Wait, so you're telling the Big Bob's gas meat shop they don't have good gas? Off topic, but can a tune cause a misfire? No. I've replaced coil packs and spark plugs and it's still misfiring. No. How can a tune cause a misfire? Tell me. Explain to me how a tune can cause a physical misfire. Like, if they put in the wrong firing order, but that's like almost impossible. If you have a 11 to 12 auto and they sent you an 11 to 12 tune and it loaded into your car, generally can't cause a misfire. Yeah, there was a guy here locally, and he's probably going to get mad for me saying this. He had a Fairmont, a LS Fairmont, white one. Used to go to the track all the time here. And he contacted Perdomo from Power by the Hour and goes, hey, maybe you could tell Alex if we could meet up at the track someday. Who are you? Why do I want to race you? Why? I don't care. Oh, what are you afraid? No, I'm not afraid. I don't care. There's a difference between being afraid and not caring. So this guy's like, well, I didn't want to like, so what else did you think was going to happen by calling Power by the Hour, telling someone to set up a race with me? I said, look, if I'm at the track and you just so happen to be in the next lane, I'm going to run it regardless. But I'm not going to purposely set up races with people I don't know. Because this is what happens. I beat YOLO. YOLO sucks. And I'm out there like testing trans brake stuff. I don't even know who the fuck is in the other lane. And I'm at a test and tune because it's a test and tune. I'm not at the no time lanes. I'm not at a shootout. I'm at test and tune. And I'm like, well, let me try a 2500 launch. And whoop, oh, it spun a little bit. Okay, let me go back and check the log. And there's a guy next to me doing hero passes, thinking that we're actually racing, uploaded on his 200 subscriber YouTube channel. I beat YOLO. YOLO fucking sucks. And I'm like, what? I hate people. Stupid. I don't mind having a target on my back, but to who? Like, you're going to cloud chase off of my dumb shit? Bro, have at it. Cletus is a whole nother example. That guy has $1 million situation. And if you beat him in a test and tune, that don't matter. But if you beat him at a race, yeah, that matters. If you beat me and I beat you at a test and tune, that doesn't matter. But if I beat you or you beat me at a race, that matters. That's a completely different situation. Cylinder delete tune, save on gas. Hey, Alex, try to order a Lund tune and they're out. You know when they'll be back in stock? You know what we started saying the other day? Some people ask for ghost cam tunes all the time. And I've heard people say, hey, I paid for a tune. You owe me a pump gas tune. I'm sorry, ghost cam tune. I go, technically it's free. We don't adjust it. He goes, well, the only reason I bought it too was for the ghost cam too. And I'm like, then you're a fucking clown, right? Because number one, there is physically no way of paying for a ghost cam tune. It's something you can request, and it's up to us to give it to you, or if your setup warrants it. But I'm not going to go out of the way and start adjusting on that sucker. But people literally go out of their way and go, I'm a paying customer. You owe me a ghost cam tune. I'm like, technically, if I don't fucking feel like it, I'm not going to give you a fucking ghost cam tune. How's that? I don't feel like giving you one. Fuck it. Alex, I tuned my 08 Mustang GT last year and found out that Wade Boggs was huge and uncut. Who knew? I like all the Boston references. That is pretty good. Way late, but threw up my like. Down here, my small town, we race for fun and have a couple of drinks after. Oh, so you drink and drive? Like Wesley beat Cletus, that mattered. Exactly. That absolutely mattered. Races lives mattered. Keep It the Great Contest has Made of Stone been a member for 11 months. Booty level, the badass level. That person would live that cloud train for the rest of their life if someone beat you. That's okay if people beat me. I don't mind getting beat. But the people that say, oh, you said Lund hat? I thought you said Lund tune. Yeah, I think we're out of these hats. They sold out really quickly. People go out there and they go out of their way to try to set up races, and they come across all innocent and shit. Oh, we just want to set up a fun run with Alex, and then they beat you, and they fucking talk about you with their friends. I beat Alex's car. Oh my god, Alex can't beat my F150. If Alex raced my F150, I'm not racing any of you motherfuckers. The only people I want to race is Jeremiah, Nick, Mikey when he's done with his car, and that's about it. That's about the small circle of friends that I have and people that I know and that I'm willing to race. If you want to race me, maybe if you're in the next lane at a test and tune and I don't know who the fuck you are, sure, catch a race that way. But if you want me to set up a race with a complete fucking stranger, no. It's fucking dumb shit. I don't need that clout. Second Shift says, there's a post on some Cletus fan group where they said, what a guy Cletus is. Letting Steve Morris get the jump on the startup video. Are you letting? Requiring. Steve Morris runs that show. And he's a humble guy. I watch his videos. He just uploaded a video about a 383 stroker that made like 550 horse on pump gas. What a great video. Letting? Steve Morris wants to make sure that motor has the best chance of winning because he knows the Freedom Factory is where motors go to die. The Freedom Factory is where motors go to absolutely end their life. Hey, where's this motor going? Freedom Factory. Holy shit. The Freedom Factory is to free the rods from the block. Sorry. You see what he does to these cars. And then, oh, that doesn't matter. We went sixes. We blew it up. What? Guys, I blew up my motor. I'm bankrupt. That's it. I'm bankrupt. See ya. Steve Morris is like, I'm not going to let someone that isn't really experienced with this super high-end motor tune it and learn on this super, I want to give it the best shot. And the fact that he was there tuning it, Cletus should have felt so privileged because the respect, I'm a nobody. I'm just a shit talking nobody. The respect I have for people like Steve Morris. And whatever you want, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you need. What do you need me to do? Did you see that when he was tuning the car, they supposedly left something unplugged? So he's like, see? This is where they go to die. And he was so calm. Go ahead, turn it on. Vroom, vroom. He's on the laptop. He's looking at it, rev it a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, I think I got a leak in injector. Cletus would have been like, clear it out! Oh, frick. Steve Morris like, shut it off. I think I got a leak in injector. It's really cold in that cylinder. Thank you for being here, sir. Free your bank account for money. The best engine we've ever had, Rod knock on the third pass. Cleat works for the EPA. They pay him for every engine he demolishes on this earth. Drove my Mustang through the flood yesterday. Hearn sounds like an 80s Japanese car. Now, yeah, no, seriously, I'm really glad to see Steve Morris getting after it, doing the right thing. He needs to tune that car beginning to end. Now that car belongs to Steve Morris. That's Steve Morris's car. Sorry. The nice thing I did like, because I actually did watch that video, is he's got pretty good fabricators over there. Garrett, he's got a good group of techs and fabricators. I think the setup just needs, like, Steve Morris needs to go do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. You'll have a 6-second car that you can drive, 500 miles to a track, run sixes, drive 500 miles back. Because doesn't he have that wagon, or did he build the engine for that Caprice wagon thing? Badass shit. So that's now Steve Morris's car. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey man, it sounds where is it? Hey, hell yeah, brother! It sounds a little weird. It's a little cold on cylinder number 4. Clear it out. Yeah, well, it's still cold. We need to get some heat in the motor. Get some heat in the motor. Hey, Jose, or whatever the hell they call LS Jose with the weird mustache. Reddit, yeah, come on. Let's go. It's still cold. Yeah, exactly. Horsepower, weight, gearing are the most important factors in roll racing, right? Yeah. Alex need any more chips? What he's talking about? To look on Wii. Yeah, so I like the fact he'll have a good shot. But anyway, Coyote guys making mistakes on setup is a very common thing. We talked about that. The product being sold. I'll spend the last 10 minutes about people complaining about products we sell. So, Lawn Racing doesn't make any products. We tune, right? So, if you guys have trouble with crank relearns, loading a tune, software, it has nothing to do with us. And I'm speaking for me, really. Because people go, well, Alex, you guys sell a product. Why doesn't it let me do a crank relearn? Talk to them. Why can't I connect to my car? I don't know. Talk to them. But why do you sell the product? I'm like, all we do is vendor a product so it can load a tune on your vehicle. If you're having an issue with the interface, if you're having an issue with the crank relearn, if you're having an issue understanding how to load a tune, even after we give you those directions, typically it's not our shit. Okay? Like, we can't give you, there is no alternative product. I think people give me this example all the time in the ticket system. Well, if you go to Home Depot and buy a bad drill, they'll just give you another drill. Right. So what did I give you that was bad? I sold a product. 99% of the people out there have no issue buying that product. But when you have an issue with that product, I don't make the product. So we say, go to this person who makes the product, talk to them about it. And then they go, well, why do you sell something that doesn't work? It works for 99% of the people. If you're that 1%, you're going to have to go through the proper channels and talk to the people that make the actual product. But people, for whatever reason, need to just yell. And I think this is a distinctively American thing. And I say that because I identify as American, but God damn it, I don't have this attitude, this sense of self-entitlement, like I'm the most important person and the world revolves around me. I know that if I have an issue with a product that has nothing to do with the company that sold it to me, like let's say I bought a Milwaukee drill from Home Depot, and then I move. Right? I move, a couple towns over. I'm not going to get mad at Home Depot if there's an issue with the drill. I'm going to get mad at Milwaukee. Reach out to Milwaukee. Do you guys have some kind of warranty department? I'm having some issue with the batteries. I think do you have any extra gear? I would talk to the person making the product. But for some reason, Americans just go back to the store and yell at the store owner to say, you sold me this piece of shit. And they need to feel like they have power over somebody. Do you think that if you buy a product over me that you have power over me? Or power or leverage on me? No, here's your money back, fuck off. Like forever. Oh, no, but I still want your product. Okay, then come correct. If you have an issue with something that we did, I understand coming at that person. But if it's nothing to do with us, and it's a third-party situation, go after the manufacturer. God damn it. Unreal. Alex, I'm the one that shipped you the chips back then. Oh, so now we're good. We're cool to race? I appreciate the chips, Darrell, but that doesn't make it cool to line up a race. Hey, I sent you Doritos, man. It's not like we're strangers. My money don't jiggle. It folds. Many times a week. How many times a week do you remind people that you work for London, not HP Tuners? Oh my God. 20 or 30 times a week. Cletus hears those bald eagles slap Steve. It's called horsepower. Thank you. I like how Steve Morris doesn't subscribe to the bullshit. They go, hell yeah, brother, daddy. And he goes, yeah, the car makes a lot of horsepower. Yep, it's good. These turb skis are pretty sick. Yeah, these turbos do really well in this downpipe situation. Yeah, this bullhorn diddly derp is going to suckity furkity. And he's like, yeah, the converter needs to be shaved down so it could have the proper gap between that and the flex plate. Oh, come on, man. You know with this channel we're fucking retarded. Yeah, you're retarded. I'm not. Get me your supervisor. I don't want to talk to you, immigrant. Alice, why would you get an R8 over a Lambo? Price. Price. Let's be honest. An R8 is just as good. This man just said the Bane quote from Dark Knight and did the hand gesture. And you think this gives you power over me? That part where Bane puts his hand on that guy who had funded the operation. He goes, and this gives you power over me? And that is such, you know what? You're right. I think I did do that. It's like subconsciously in there. Like, just because you buy something from me or the company I work for does not give you power over me. Does not allow you to talk shit to me. Does not allow. How many times have you guys seen these videos on Facebook or Instagram where a McDonald's worker jumps across the counter and does the Superfly Jimmy Snuka on somebody that says, fuck you, I eat fucking fries. And they go, what'd you say? And I'm like, hey, there you go. You think because you got lukewarm fries, you think you can get over there? You think you can go back and go, y'all motherfuckers gave me some fucking cold fries? I'd be like, ma'am, I will give you another. No, fuck you. I want some hot fries, motherfucker. And he throws the fries and the homeboy loses his shit. And it's usually him and Pookie in the back and they gang up on. I love seeing those videos where people jump over the counter at McDonald's and beat the shit out of the customer. How about when you're at, how about the video of the guy that was at Waffle House? And the cook goes outside with the apron, the grease, the egg stains on his shit, and he beats the crap out of dude talking shit at Waffle House. You should treat everyone that provides you a service like Seinfeld treated the soup Nazi. 1 lobster bisque, please. Thank you. Because he'll say, no soup for you. Fuck out of here. Oh, now you got no soup. A lot of room temperature fools. A lot of room temperature IQ fools in the puro pinche 956 a la verga. Apparently the R is more comfy car. Like more GT. The Huracan is sport track focused. That's why there's a Huracan STO. I got the fries that cross the eyes. I got the cheeseburgers. I just got the cheeseburgers. Waffle House comes with food and a show. Love that episode. Get twisted, T slapped. You only work at Waffle House if you can fight. No soup for you. So next time you guys think you can just like yell at somebody just because they sold you a product they have nothing to do with, they're just out there doing a fucking job, don't be surprised if they jump over the counter and slap you. I am so nice. I am so nice because I have worked on the other end of customer service. Just like when that service advisor tried to fuck me on the installation of a filter that he took out without my permission. I said, sir, I'll absolutely gladly pay you for the filter if you don't charge me for labor. Sir, I have to charge you for labor because I got to put it in. Okay, then put the old one in. It's the same motion, isn't it? Isn't it the exact same motion? Old one in or new one in. The difference is you get to keep $32.33 for the new filter. Don't charge me labor. You know what? He did it. That's the way you do it. Did I miss the multi-tune update? What multi-tune update? So you say thank you after hooking up with a hooker? Sure. Just remember, it's not a Lund Burble, it's a Lund Racing. She on the run. I've had to bite my tongue plenty of times. Joe, Alex, I got to go McDonald's vid. Where do I send it? Not here. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Friday, enjoy the rest of your Friday. It's going to be raining here for the weekend, so I'll see where I can go on location to give you the dating channel video for tomorrow. I usually like to go somewhere, probably downtown Stewart. Downtown Stewart's really nice, but if it's going to be raining, I got to figure out a plan B or bring a tent or something like that. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be on Sunday, Peasant Chat. I will be giving away cookies for the Peasant Chat or potentially coffee. Oh My God Cookies was nice enough to say, Alex, you can give away coffee or cookies on the Peasant Chat. You can either get 3 cookies or 1 bag of coffee, whatever choice you'd like. So we'll do that on the Peasant Chat on Sunday. Tune in. Maybe win some coffee, win some cookies, win something. This show actually gives you motherfucker something. All right, guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you guys Sunday. Stay out of trouble. See y'all later. Bye.